Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. Let me first start off by apologizing to you guys for the long wait between videos. I have been busy moving and with a toddler, so it has been a lot. We're finally all moved in, and I'm so excited to get to today's reading because we are looking into what spiritual gifts have you inherited from your mother's side of the family, your maternal bloodline. And so we're looking into those specific gifts, as well as we are even pulling some messages from the ancestors specifically attached to your mother's side of the family. And so this was a reading that kind of came to me in meditation very strongly. And so I'm super excited to get into this reading. There's a lot of information that came through with each and every pile, because you guys know I filmed the intro after I'm done filming the reading. There's a lot of information in each and every pile. So of course, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest, because ultimately you are the one that holds all the keys and all of the knowledge to your own path and your own destiny and your own future. So, just allow this reading to, be something that helps you to remember what you already know. And that's how I do all my readings, of course. But other than that, hopefully you guys have been doing well. I'm so excited to finally be able to get back to work. So we've got 4 different piles here today. And let's just jump straight in to the disclaimers in the meditation so we can get straight to your reading. So obviously this is a general reading, meaning that it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not control or dictate your life. If you hear something that you do not like or agree with and think that you are fixed to that reality, then you are not using my readings correctly. I conduct these readings for confirmation, not answers. If you hear something for the first time, please do not take that message without receiving further confirmation from your higher self and spiritual team. Realize at the end of the day, you have the final say with your destiny. Your free will is your superpower, and what you choose to do with it will determine your life outcomes, not a pick a card reading on YouTube. So please be responsible and accountable for your own actions, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages that your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. If you would like to participate in this meditation, this is a general reading for the collective. So in order for this reading to resonate with you personally, you need to be synced into the energy of this reading. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye and not your physical ones, I will be offering a 60-second meditation. Halfway into it, I'm going to be placing some crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. And after the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile, and you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you're drawn to another pile, that's because there is another message for you in that pile. So if you're ready, get into a relaxed position, become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet and working that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds, hold that breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to a higher self so you can receive confirming messages as to what spiritual gifts and talents you inherited from your maternal bloodline or your mom's side of the family. So this is pile number 1, which says astrology and destiny. Pile 2 that says candle and illumination. Pile 3 that says crystal ball, clarity. And pile 4 which says psychic abilities. On pile 1 is golden obsidian. On pile 2, I always forget the name of this crystal, but this is what we have on pile 2. On pile 3 is labradorite. Pile 4 is smoky quartz. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are going to be looking into what gifts you guys inherited from your mother's side today. So getting started with the tarot cards, then we'll get some oracle cards for some more details as to your spiritual gifts. The tarot cards that you guys have, you have the Tower. Then you have the Four of Swords. And then the Hangman in reverse. All right, pile 1, the spiritual gifts that you inherited from your mother's side, with Tower starting the reading. It tells me that for many of you, your mom may be the matriarch in your family, or a woman in your family may be like the head of the family. Maybe a grandmother, an aunt, a great aunt. You could be seen as the person holding this role in your family as well. And I say this because the Tower is the card of absolute power right here. This is big bank, take little bank, right? A tower is a structure that is built by someone with a lot of money, and money equals power in this world, right? And someone with a lot of that might want to show everyone in town who's like big dog by building building the tallest structure around. So it's a blatant show of strength, and is definitely like an ego stroke for whoever built it, because everyone who sees the tower, they have to do what? They have to look up at it. And then within the tower, you have people fighting to get into this very exclusive space, to own an office in this tower, and then they're clawing away at each other to hold space on the highest floor. This card has a spirit of like Hunger Games attached to it, but with power, there's always someone who has more of it. And that's what we see here in the Tower card. We see true power or true force, which would be God, the universe, destiny, the monad, whatever you call a higher power. We see that strike down this tower right here through a lightning bolt, and the old king or ruler comes falling down, as you can see, with the crown falling off of this tower right here. And so the matriarchs in your family, they have like brought down many a king in their lifetime. on the physical and like even spiritual side of life. So there may have been men in your family that they took the role of leader from, or they should have shared this role with. But those men, they could have buckled under the pressure of running a family or running something like a business or being in charge. They may have also gotten a sense of an ego trip from being the head of the family and may have even abused their power. Some men in the family may have been seen as weak compared to these matriarchs, for those of you drawn to this pile, and it's because of how they handled or did not handle the power or roles given to them, compared to the women who handled it with grace or compassion and patience. So the first gift that you inherited from your mom's side of the family is just power in general, with the Tower right here. The women down your line were very spiritually gifted. They carried their gifts with a sense of grace, but again, they were also very powerful and maybe even quite intimidating. Even if they didn't have like a lot of money or a lot of influence or a really big reputation in a way, there's just something about the energy field around them, their auric field, their presence that just felt powerful and a little intimidating. Because again, like I said, with the Tower card, this is like, I'll show you who's really boss. Like your boss's boss has a boss when we're dealing with the Tower. And so the women in your family, you come from a line of women in your family who carried this presence behind them or within their energy field. It was literally like encoded into their energy. And so the women down your line were very spiritually gifted. They carried their gifts with that sense of power. It may be, and also look out too for 444. This is the second time that I've seen it. I saw it right before I started your reading, and I just saw it again. And also 1111, look out for that number as well. But yeah, they definitely carried their gifts with a lot of power and even grace at the same time, very like balanced in the way that they handled their gifts. And it may be why the women in your family are so respected and revered. They may also carry that same presence within their communities and be seen as like a leader there, because power is something very many people struggle to wield or use or hold. We could say they get corrupted by it, but I think people's true character comes out when they have a sense of power. So it is a gift to be able to hold power and use it with wisdom and fairness and grace, for you to have it and to not be changed by it. That's when true power meets power. So you were always rich, for instance, right? If you come into great wealth and end up being the same person that you were before you had it. Same thing with authority. That's the first gift here, is just holding true power and holding it correctly in the first place to where it doesn't corrupt you. You know, like think like Lord of the Rings, how the ring always jacked up whoever had it besides the main character, whatever his name is. But anyways, though, that's the first gift for you guys. The next is the ability to spot and then disrupt generational cycles and generational patterns that have kept the family caught in a very vicious cycle of volatility, or even trigger warning here, or even some abuse and instability. From being victimized, they're developed a fear of being seen and of being vulnerable and having any sort of closeness. So there may have been a lot of coldness in the family at times, especially within couple dynamics. Many of you may have even been taught or told to keep your spiritual gifts a little bit more private, or to practice in private. And there's definitely a wound here in being recognized or associated with your spiritual gifts, or being noticed for your accuracy and spiritual power. There may be, you guys may have, it could be you, or it could be somebody down your mother's line who feared a sense of success or feared a sense of being seen, because they always dealt with a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of people trying to take them down. Look at the Tower card right here, right? There was always somebody coming for that Tower. It's like there's a very weird almost obsession here, and the Tower is ruled by Mars, the god of war, but Mars can also be, it's an extremely intense, passionate planet that can err on the side of obsession. And so with the Tower right here, you guys it could be you, or again, somebody on your mother's side of the family that were afraid of success or afraid of being seen, because it just triggered other people's demons, or it brought out people's like the worst side of them, where they wanted what you have or what you possess. And so there's definitely a wound here in being, seen. with this very accurate and powerful spiritual gift. People may have been envious of you or your family's gifts. There could have even been jealousy within the family as well. Other relatives being uncomfortable or jealous of your spiritual gifts. Someone may have tried to even curse your family at some point in the past because of the spiritual power that one of your maternal ancestors held, like way back in the day. And that's what led to many of you being told to keep your gifts more quiet. And so there could even be some sort of, what would that be called? It's kind of associated with like a visibility wound, but it's more so of like a fear of success, because it's like when I'm put on a pedestal, people come for me. They want to get me. They have it out for me. Even people in my own family, even people that I've known since childhood, even people that I consider a friend, sometimes even romantic partners, right? So that may be something that your mother's side of the family may have feared, is a sense of success, even a sense of like wealth, or again, being on a pedestal, being respected, being revered. And so many people on your mother's side of the family, or you in general, may have always tried to play it safe by being a bit more humble and leading with more humility, with the Four of Swords right here and the Hangman in reverse. So, it's kind of like when somebody, they like sort of make jokes at their own expense, and they're like, they try to make other people comfortable by downplaying their self and what they've got going on. Also, to you guys, watch out for spiders, the symbolism of spiders, spider webs, or like the imagery of spiders. That could be significant in some way. Anyways, though, yeah, there could definitely be like a fear of success here, or being seen, being visible, being popular, being noticed, being recognized. But a lot of you drawn to this pile are here to break that visibility wound, to shatter the idea and the fear and even shame, which might be a weird word, around success, around being pedestalized or even like idolized or recognized or celebrated and appreciated and respected. A lot of you drawn to this pile are here to completely shatter that, and to refuse to hide your gifts, or to be ashamed of them or scared of them, and to use them, and being afraid or ashamed of what you are able to do. And this is why many of you in this pile are learning and practicing living in your gifts more loudly and boldly, and identifying with them, and being able to say, this is what I have, or this is what I do, and I'm fucking good at it. You are meant to embrace power this lifetime, pile one, and in a very calm way with the Four of Swords, not threatening with it or carrying it egotistically, but responsibly and respectfully, because you are aware of what you can do. You guys are definitely rewriting the rules that your family's bloodline carry and how to use them. You guys are getting back to a place where you use these gifts to be of service to others, because that was the entire point throughout your lineage, which is why for you guys and your family, your gifts resemble one another. Like, they're very similar. It's like it's the same brand of spiritual gifts. Like, there may be a lot of seers or a lot of healers or light workers or diviners in the family. And this spiritual gift, it continues to reincarnate through your bloodline, because it's meant to be used more publicly and not closeted away for fear of being shamed, damned, attacked, or ridiculed for it. And so also, don't be afraid of gaining a reputation for your gifts. Pile one, it's like it's attached to you guys' bloodline here, where somebody down your maternal line were literally like shamed or outcasted, ridiculed, shunned, maybe even persecuted. With the Hangman in reverse, we literally have the Hangman card right here. Somebody along your mother's line or your mother's side of the family was actually like, they experienced some sort of severe like trauma, a very traumatizing event because of their beliefs or their gifts and what they're able to do. And this could even be something that's very well known in some of you guys' family, or not, especially with your Hangman in reverse. This may just be something that is being carried throughout your mother's side of the family, where it's like there's a sense of shame being carried throughout the womb space in your mother's side of the family. The womb space, it remembers things, whether you are a man or a woman. Everybody, no matter how we identify, we have a energetic womb space. It's called the sacral chakra. It's an energetic center that carries things. So this is where the emotions and the subconscious rests. And also this is where we carry a lot of like memories of the past and so on. Also, there may be a skill here in doing some baneful work, which would be which would be like cursing, hexing, putting energetic holds on people, or even removing them. Because again, with the Tower, it's like I have more power over my destiny than anyone else does. It's like the only person that I answer to is the all, or this higher power. And so you guys have definitely inherited the gift of awakening others in your family to the energetic plagues that were being reintroduced to your bloodline with the Hangman in reverse over here too. And this is like waking someone up to something that they already sensed was there, but they couldn't fully or clearly see it or identify or connect the dots back to it, like where this first started, where this came from, why it's here. So this card can also talk about an ability to see into the future or future timelines through prophetic abilities. But with it in reverse, you guys may have a very strong gift that you inherited of being able to see deep into the past. So ancestors may come to you regularly with messages. And because Hangman is the card where he is gradually crossing over, he is dying in this card. You guys may have also inherited the gift of seeing ancestors as well as descendants and being able to communicate with them. But especially the ancestors with this card in reverse. Ancestors may tell you about future events and what to prepare for before it even happens. And there's a scary level of accuracy here with your Four of Swords showing up. And also the Four of Swords, it tells me that you guys may resemble someone on your mother's side or your mom more than you do your dad's side, or you might have someone's character on your mom's side more than you do on your father's side. All right, so let's see what other gifts you guys may have inherited. Talk to your angels instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. So you guys have inherited a very strong ability. And then look, we have healer here underneath the deck. So you guys, like, there's definitely some healing energy here, sort of like what we were talking about when it came to your Tower card right here. But healer here says you have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. This is is exactly what came through, is that you guys are meant to use your gifts to be of service to other people and to the public. But there is a sense of shame or fear here when it comes to being seen and being more public or being more recognized or known for what you do. So a lot of you may resonate with being like practitioners who have like kept your practices private, and you've been more like of a closeted sort of a practitioner, like a closeted witch, for instance, right? You may be very uncomfortable with calling yourself a witch or a seer or a medium or whatever it may be. Like you guys may have a lot to unpack when it comes to identifying with your spiritual gifts. And healer right here, and then talk to your angels instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. So this is something, also gifts that you guys inherited from your mother's side as well, the ability to talk to angels, the ability to call in angels, angelic presences, and to even ask them to help or intervene when it comes to the more kind of like human side of life, or when it comes to just getting their assistance and dealing with certain more like, you know, situations that you may be dealing with in your personal and private life. But you guys definitely have the ability to break through that 5D and talk to your angels or talk to angelic presences and your spiritual team. You guys are very connected to them to where you can actually speak to them. You can speak to them. You can go to them directly for sure. And healer, just know that your angels, your spiritual team, you guys hand selected your spiritual team. From what Talk to Your Angels and Healer here is telling me, you guys hand selected your spiritual team coming into this life, coming into this world, and they are here to help you create this, or to really get into service when it comes to using your spiritual gifts. So it's like your spiritual gifts are to be of use for other people and not just yourself. Of course, you can use them for yourself, but they're also supposed to be used for and on other people as well, between Talk to Your Angels and Healer right here. But also too, you guys are definitely here to heal whatever's going on your mother's side right here. And also use your angels to do that, because they're definitely here to help with that. Let's see what else. What other spiritual gifts you guys inherited from your mother's side? Okay, we have here passion. This is what I was saying with the Tower card right here. It's ruled by Mars, who's extremely passionate. It it literally can even be a little bit obsessive. When we're dealing with obsession in astrology, you're gonna want to look to Mars. But yeah, with passion right here, just know that you guys are also again, you're very powerful. Like passion here, it looks like she's literally dancing in fire. Fire is what we use to describe celestial bodies like Mars. The Tower card is ruled by a fire planet, which is Mars. So there is a lot of passion here for when it comes to you guys' gifts. It may be something that you're very passionate about, but also too, this may be what intimidates you guys a little bit, or like what we were talking about with the Tower, it's what intimidates other people around you because they can sense that power within your own auric field. They can sense that fire within your energy. And it has a lot to do with you guys' spiritual gifts, the gifts that surround you, the gifts that you hold, the gifts that you carry, as well as even your spiritual team may come across to other people as intimidating or really powerful or extremely passionate about you and about the job that you are here to do. So a lot of people may feel a sense of like, okay, mess around and find out when it comes to you a little bit. And again, this is why I was saying, like, some of you may have been naturally gifted in doing baneful work, or that could be something that your family is gifted with, your mother's side of the family, or you guys are really, really good at removing things like that from your energy or from other people's energy. But with passion right here, yeah, just know for a fact that like you guys, like fire may be a very dominant medium in your life. You guys may like working with fire, candles, flames, the sun, solar energy, stuff like that. You guys may love working with fire, and you may be very passionate about your spiritual gifts. It may be something that you are just like, you feel like you light up, you feel like you glow. And this is why, again, you guys are here to really deconstruct and shatter the narrative around keeping your gifts more closeted and more private. This is why you guys have such a fierce and passionate interest in your spiritual gifts and in what you do, because you guys are here to bring down the belief within your mother's side of the family that we have to keep our gifts private in order to protect ourselves. You guys have come into this life knowing and understanding that in order for us to protect ourselves, we need to lead with our gifts, not hide them away in shame. Okay, so passion here for sure. So you guys may be like kind of fire dominated too. You could be like any of the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, have a lot of planets in your first house, your fifth house, or your ninth house. You could have a lot of Mars, Jupiter, Sun energy in your chart, for sure, with passion right here. And then you guys have beauty. Okay, so just know with beauty right here, this tells me that there's something about you guys that is physically very beautiful. You're very beautiful. You're very magnetic. You have a lot of magnetism. You may not notice it. You may not see it. This could be another thing that you guys have tried to downplay. You know how like some people that are always kind of like seen for how they look physically, they almost try to, again, oh yeah, I literally said that verbatim, that some of you guys, you try to lead with humility. And so you'll even try to like make jokes at your own expense. Like, oh my God, I hate my hair when my hair is like this. And it's like, you know, you're the shit. Like, you know that you're beautiful, but because you've always experienced people being intimidated by your beauty or your physical appearance, you may try to almost like hide your beauty a little bit, or your presence. You try to almost cloak yourself, and it's another way of protecting yourself, especially if you're someone who wears like a lot of monotone colors, a lot of black, a lot of grays. Like you try to almost like, you don't want to be too loud or too bold. You may never really wear red and stuff like that. And as you've gone through a healing process, you may notice that one of the clear signs that you are healing a lot of that visibility wound is you stop trying to hide. You stay away from wearing those monotone colors like black, and black is literally the color trying to shield yourself, trying to cloak yourself. You guys may sort of have shifted as you're going through your healing process to wearing more colors, to wearing more red, painting your nails red, wearing red lipstick, wearing red colors, being more out there, more bold, wearing makeup, wearing outfits and clothing that actually, like puts your physical attributes out there. and doesn't hide them so much. And so with beauty right here, just know that you guys are also very gifted. Like your beauty is a gift. In other words, you may not see yourself as physically attractive. You are physically attractive. You are beautiful. You can't help but to be that because your energy is highly magnetic. And so it's like your energy, it literally looks like it's glowing. So it's like your aura around you is very beautiful. It draws people in, right? And so for you guys with beauty right here, this is another thing that's like an actual gift that you inherited. And it's very energy based. It's not just your physical appearance, it's your energy that people are really drawn to and attracted to when it comes to you. Okay. So you guys may also be good with gifted with glamour spells and stuff as well. Let's just get a couple of messages here from the ancestors on your mother's side. See what they want to say to you. Okay, we have here surrender. And then we have third party underneath the deck. Interesting. Surrender here says no longer fighting or resisting, letting things be and allowing, giving up control. Again, this is what I was talking about with you guys, where it's like, you guys are here to shatter the belief that we have to hide ourselves away. No, I'm not going to hide. I'm going to be visible. I'm going to be seen. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be daring. I'm going to embrace all of me. And I'm going to put it out there no matter what anybody else says, that anybody else is this third party right here. Something else is involved, outside influences, even love triangle. Some of you guys, you may have been involved in a few love triangles as well, especially between passion and beauty over here and now third party. You guys may have definitely been involved in that from time to time. But yeah, with third party here, this just has to do with outside influences, just people around that that try to define you, that try to humble you, that try to have some sort of an influence over you, right? And so you guys are you're cutting out the middleman, you're cutting out the third party, you're cutting out the outside extra influences because you don't need them, and you realize that it's like there's too much noise in my energy field. And so for some of you, this third party could even be other family members, where it's like, I'm not even going to allow them to make me feel ashamed or afraid to live more boldly. Okay, so you guys are definitely surrendering to that. You're surrendering to your power, you're surrendering to your passion, you're surrendering to your spiritual gifts, you're surrendering to your purpose, to what you are here to do. You guys are just embracing that, and that's you at your most powerful version of yourself. All right, let's see what else you guys may be gifted at, or the spiritual gifts that you have inherited from your mother's side. So this is going to be a little more detailed. We have here Dowsing Rod's Seeker, and then underneath the deck here we have Astrology Destiny. So you guys are also very good at being able to see people's destiny. This is what was kind of coming through a little bit about you guys being able to see into the past, and even getting messages from your ancestors that help you prepare for the future or see into the future. So with destiny here, you guys are definitely able to see people's destiny, as well as even your own. You may be very, very good at being able to see and understand and embrace your own destiny. And you guys may be definitely surrendering to that at this point in your life right now, at the time that you're seeing this reading. I'm going to show you these other cards. This is like a stack of cards. I'm going to show you these other cards. I'm not going to keep them out because it's a lot of them, but I'm going to show you these. So yeah, but you guys may be very gifted in astrology. Very, very naturally gifted in astrology. And then when Dowsing Rod Seeker, every time I see this card, it kind of makes me think about you guys not being confined to like one medium of divination. You guys may be very gifted at being able to use anything to divine more information. So you know how it's like, for instance, you guys may be able to take some rocks, toss them somewhere, and be like, oh, this means X, Y, and Z. Or you guys may be really good at being able to just have a sense of clairsentience and feeling what somebody's like destiny is, or what's going on with them, or divining a message, something that they need to know, divining some more information on them and their situation and what's going on in their life. So with this Dowsing Rod Seeker right here, you guys are really good at extracting spiritual information And so this here, again, you guys are definitely diviners. Okay, because that's what astrology is too. It's the science of, it's another divinatory science where we use the cosmos, we use the celestial bodies in order to divine and get more information from a different source. Okay, so you guys may be very, very good at astrology as well. And then let me just show you guys these other cards. Like I said, it's a lot of cards though, but I still want to show you. So we have your aura observation. I kept talking about you guys' aura. You guys may be gifted at being able to see people's energy fields as well, or what's going on within their energy field. So you guys may also be like a I don't even know what to call it, like an energy doctor. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, aura observation, numerology precision. You guys may be very gifted with numerology. We also have here thunder and lightning power. What did I say? Looking at you guys' reading down here with the tower card, you guys, the first gift that you inherited from your mother's side of the family is just straight up power. And we have power coming out for you. Then we have here wishbone affirmation. This is you guys' wishes being able to come true very easily. And then we have here Shagai, I believe, fragmented. So this is you guys' ability to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together, kind of like what we were talking about with your hangman in reverse, where it's like a lot of your mom's side of the family, they may carry the same sort of energy and not necessarily know where it comes from. Why do I feel shame around this? Why do I experience like blockages around that? And it's very difficult to connect the dots, but you guys that are attracted to this pile, you're able to kind of connect those dots and see, oh, this came from this situation, or this came from this life event, or you guys may be very gifted. Your ancestors may have shown you exactly where certain blockages or karmic lessons and experiences have come from in your family. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys these cards still stand for you. I'm just not going to leave them out because it's a lot. It's a lot of cards here. Okay. I guess I could try to leave them out for you. Let's see. Okay. And then just a final message for you, pile 1. And this is going to be from your ancestors on your mom's side. What do they want to say to you? What do your maternal ancestors want to say to pile 1? Okay, we have here move your body, dance, breathe, and flow. And then underneath the deck here, we have re-energize your life, clear, positive space, and harmony. Okay, so maybe connect to some sacred places, maybe a temple, a church, or just anywhere that feels sacred for you. Could be out in nature. It could be at like, a tree or some sort of a path that you like to walk. But also here with move your body too, dance, breathe, and flow. So I'm going to read move your body out of the book. So 1 second. Move your body says you are encouraged to ground your spiritual endeavors through breath and body work. Your physical body needs your attention. Try regular low impact exercises such as yoga, swimming, dancing, or Tai Chi that will improve coordination, build muscle strength, and help you focus on your breathing. Moving your body is powerful as it enables you to become more connected with your spiritual self. Divinatory meaning here says be aware of your physical needs. Get to know what areas of your body require attention. Set out to increase your physical strength. This is not a time for you to put yourself down or focus on anything that you may feel is negative about your body. What did we talk about earlier for you guys? That you may almost try to, downplay yourself or your attributes because you have experienced a lot of jealousy and envy in your life where people feel almost intimidated by you because of how you look. And it's just, you guys may have developed a sense of like that visibility wound because of it. And it literally says right here, this is not a time for you to put yourself down or focus on anything that you may feel is negative about your body. It is time for the powerful reclamation of your physical self, of your whole self. Actively work toward the best health possible. So keep working towards you guys' your health, you guys. For those of you that may be on a health and a wellness journey right now, this is huge confirmation from the ancestors on your mom's side to keep working towards your health, to put your health and yourself first. And it says dancing is also highlighted. Enjoy some music, relax, and let the energy flow as you move your body. And you guys do have passion right here as well too. But just know that music, dance is very healing and very powerful for you guys. But other than that, pile 1, this is it. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Let me take this time to thank your guys, my guides, our higher self, the ancestors on your mom's side for coming through and delivering these messages. You guys stay safe, healthy, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with you guys' tarot cards, and we'll be pulling some oracle messages to look into what gifts have you inherited from your mom's side of the family. So starting off with you guys' tarot cards, we have the Five of Swords, the High Priestess in reverse, and then the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so you guys definitely inherited the spiritual gift of being able to diagnose energy blocks with the Five of Swords that specifically are tied to the maternal line with your High Priestess right here. High Priestess is very connected to the mother because she's ruled by moon. And in astrology, the moon deals with ancestry, motherhood, the maternal line, and spiritual gifts. And it's all about where we come from. So you guys have the ability to heal blockages. Now, to get a little more specific, those of you drawn to this pile may have an interesting story where you are one of the first members in your family to maybe like graduate from college or own a business, own a home, pay off debts, or make a significant amount of money or live a really good and financially secure life. And I say this because of your Six of Pentacles over here, which is the card of having so much that you are able to help others in need. So you guys inherited the gift more specifically of being able to rid your bloodline of any sort of money blocks or energetic afflictions connected to career, education, success, and your professional life. If you haven't experienced this sort of success in your own personal life just yet, and you were drawn to this pile and you work hard, this will happen in your lifetime. It is meant to. You guys have just had to work through some really deeply ingrained spiritual blockages and sort of like even mental narratives surrounding money, assets, resources, income. And this is healing like scarcity or a money wound that has been in your family line for generations. Your mother's side of the family either dealt with the scarcity wound or had the ability to heal it. Feminine energy is naturally abundant and can easily attract or call that abundance directly in and even go a step further to secure that wealth. And so the thing is, for many of you, wealth may have been associated with marriage as well because of your High Priestess in reverse right here. You guys are healing that wound or breaking through it by defiantly saying, I am going to make my own money or my own wealth with or without a partner. Because the Five of Swords can talk about incompatibility for sure, but having to stay in a partnership that is poorly matched because of the financial security that you're dependent on, especially when it comes to your Six of Pentacles here that can again talk about being financially dependent. It kind of depends on who you show up as. When the Six of Pentacles shows up, you could be showing up as the person that has so much wealth that they're able to help others in need, or you could be showing up as the person in need that is looking to others that have more to extend a helping hand when it comes to the Six of Pentacles. But it sort of depends on where you fall in this card in your present day life. And so you guys may have, for sure, with your High Priestess in reverse, you may have done things very differently from your mom. Your mom could have chosen to do things very differently than how her mom did things. There may be like this thing generationally on your mom's side of the family where it's like you try to break some sort of recurring theme that the mother side of the family has been carrying. So like, let's just say if there's like, it's just a very common example. Let's just say, for example, that there's like a lot of divorce on the mother's side. Then your mom may have gotten married saying like, I'm never going to get divorced. It's never going to happen to me. And, you could have come up seeing your mom be in like really unhealthy relationships and not leaving because she is focused on not doing what her mom did or not going through what her mom did. And so for you ended up taking on kind of like the idea of like, I'm going to leave a relationship in a hot second. I'm never going to get married. No one's ever going to lock me down because I'm never going to be in this position that my mom is in, where she's just staying and dealing with this relationship or this person or this partner that she shouldn't be with, that it's super toxic, but she is just determined to stay because she is trying to do the opposite of what her mom did or what her parents did. So it's kind of like that keeps happening throughout you guys' maternal line here. Five of Swords right here. It's a very defiant sort of behavior where it's like, I'm not going to do what my mom did with the High Priestess in reverse. What can end up happening when the High Priestess shows up in reverse, because the High Priestess upright, she is going to represent our moral code. Okay. So this is the principles and philosophies that matter to us. The High Priestess gives us a trajectory. She gives us a path to stay on and to walk on where it's like, as long as we stay on that path, we will always remain true to ourselves. We will never disrupt or disturb our spirit, because it's like, as long as I'm true to myself, it might disrupt parts of my life, but at least I'm going to be able to sleep good at night. That's what the high priestess represents. She represents your own code, your own religion, your own Bible, the stuff that for you, it speaks true to you, which is why she is seen here holding this sacred sort of like script, or this Torah right here, that says Torah right here. And this is because the high priestess is saying that it's like she is holding our truth. She is holding the principles that ring true for us and us personally. So as long as we live by that truth and we live by that code, we're going to have always been loyal to ourselves, right? We won't have to deal with feeling like we betrayed ourselves or feeling like we didn't listen to our gut instincts. And that can be a very heavy thing to live with, because it's like, if only I would have listened to my gut, I could have avoided X, Y, and Z. So when the high priestess shows up in reverse, this is saying that it can say that we're going against what rings true for us. We're going against our own truth. We're going against our own principles, because we're trying, for whatever reason, we're trying to stay true to some other code. And it could be because, we've been conditioned a certain way. We've been brought up or trained in a certain way. And so it's like, we're trying to, stay true to that. Or maybe there's something that we've gone through in our life, in our early childhood, for instance, because the high priestess can also represent early childhood as well. And so there could be something that we went through earlier on in life where it's like, even though this feels right for me, I'm trying to avoid experiencing what I went through as a kid, for instance. So it can almost feel like some sort of an inner conflict when the high priestess shows up in reverse. And so because this reading, we are looking into the gifts that you inherited from your mother's side. That is a gift here that you guys inherited, is being able to spot the blockages that have been plaguing the mother's side of the family. So you guys drawn to this pile, you may have already went through your phase of going against your mother's choices, the choices that she made in her life. You guys may have already went through that phase of life where it's like, I'm not going to do what she did. And you guys may have come around. At this point in time of your life, you may be starting to come around. It could be something that doesn't happen until, into the future, where you guys start to come around and you go, you know what? She was reacting from a space of trying to protect herself, wanting to protect herself. And because she saw what her mom went through, she thought that this was the medicine for her life. And you guys may come to a place where you stop looking at that as something that you have to defy, and more so looking at that as something where it's like, let me close out this chapter for my mother's side of the family. Let me heal and relieve my maternal bloodline of this heavy weight or this heaviness here, where we're trying to escape what our mothers did. Okay. And so, because especially with the Five of Swords, right next to the high priestess here, some of you guys, you may feel like your mom maybe didn't show you the best example of maybe motherhood or womanhood, or, how someone is supposed to carry themselves in certain situations. You guys may kind of struggle with that a little bit. Again, there's some sort of internal conflict here that you guys are aware of. And one of those spiritual gifts that you guys inherited is actually being able to spot that, to see it very clearly and say, it's time for this, my mom's side of the family, to be relieved of that pressure and of being maybe short-sighted in that way. Because, when we are living from a place of survival, because we can very easily, and it's almost scary how easy it is to get into that survival mode state, because we're like, I ain't going through what I went through in my childhood. I'm not going to do what my parents did. And instantly, right then and there, we are transported into a state of survival mode, in the primal state, where it's like, I just need to do what they didn't do. And we end up falling into our own patterns in cycles that are very unhealthy or toxic in some way. Five of Swords right here. And again, this could have something to do with finances, with the Six of Pentacles coming up. And so you guys are definitely realizing or starting to recognize, or you will in the future, that it's like, I don't have to defy my mother's side of the family. I don't have to detach myself from that. I don't have to try to erase this part of my history or my past, or my family's history or my family's past, in order for me to avoid the same pains that they went through or that she went through, especially if it has something to do with finances, financial abuse, I believe it's called as well. There could be someone or, some sort of a history here where people in your family on your mom's side may have married for a sense of security with the Six of Pentacles, and they became almost like dependent or reliant on that person. And because of that, they may have went through a lot of really painful experiences just because it's like, well, I have to stay here. I have to be here because I'm not financially independent, or I'm not independent in this way. I need to stay in this situation or stay in this sort of relationship or stay with this sort of person in order to secure this part of my life, even though it's really unhealthy or it's toxic or it's hurting me in some way. You guys are definitely here to right that wrong in a sense. And you guys may definitely have been sort of living by the code of like, my financial future will never be dependent on someone else. And you guys are doing it in a way where you also defy hustle culture and the idea surrounding that you have to be on the verge of like burnout or mental and physical breakdown with the Five of Swords right here in order to obtain a certain level of success. And so this is like a notion that you guys definitely resent, because again, you're here to make your own rules when it comes to being able to kind of right that wrong and to sort of like balance out the different sort of experiences and lessons and pains that your mother's side of the family has gone through for sure. So let's start pulling some oracle cards here to see what other spiritual gifts you guys may have inherited from your mother's side of the family. So we have here animals flipping over and then family. Yeah, you guys see. So this is even healing the family. It's like coming back to that idea of that I was talking, and then we have creative expression underneath the deck here. But it's kind of like coming back to that idea of what I was talking about, where I use it as an example, where it's like, your mom may have looked at it as like, I'm never going to get a divorce because that's what my parents said, that's what my mom did. And so they end up staying in a relationship that's really bad for them. And then you end up kind of seeing that and internalizing it and going, I'm just never going to settle down anyways to avoid that. It's like, so there's a sense of family, trying to almost recreate the perfect family every generation, no matter what that looks like. Even if recreating the perfect family looks like you with your pets, not settling down with anyone, but being like a pet mom or a pet dad, or, a pet parent that's just like, I'm just happy with my animals. I'm just happy with my things, or I'm just happy with my partner. We don't want to get married, or we don't want to have kids, or we want to have a whole bunch of kids, like whatever it is that looks like for you. Right? There's this idea here trying to recreate that idea of what a perfect family, or like the nuclear family, looks like, with family right here. And then it says, loving your friends and family is essential to your life's purpose. This is totally you guys' life's purpose. But this is another spiritual gift of yours, is being able to actually establish some sort of foundation that can support really healthy family ties and traditions. So you guys are even breaking and shattering a lot of harmful traditions and ways that have plague the mother side of the family as well. And then we have here animals. It says you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are a part of your life's work. So animals may be a huge part of you guys' spiritual gifts. You guys may work with a lot of animal spirits, or even spirits that it kind of makes me think of like how the ancient Cometians, like their the Neteru for them, or in other words, their gods and goddesses, they were depicted as like these like hybrid human / like animal entities where like, a set, for instance, she had like these wings. She was always like seen or depicted as like a bird, or like Hathor, how she was always depicted. She always had cow ears. It could also be that the spirits around you have that almost like animal nature or animal spirit to them as well. But animals, you guys may be huge animal lovers or deeply connected to animals. And so that's another spiritual gift for you guys, is being able to connect with animal spirits, earth spirits as well. And then we have your creative expression, and it says your soul longs to express itself creatively. So this is another gift for you guys, is that the things that you guys create, you put a lot of the things that you guys create, even when it comes to family, the life that you create for yourself, it's very spiritually coded. There's a lot of intention around it. And so people that interact with the things that you create, it almost leaves them spiritually inspired in some way. Something about it inspires them. Something about it touches them deeply, makes them feel something. So like you guys, you may be very gifted when it comes to the arts, the creative arts. So like music, drawing, whatever it may be. You guys may be very, very spiritually gifted with that. It's a part of your purpose to create things, because it's created with intention, and it's deeper than just painting. It's like there's something. It's like it's like the stuff that you guys create, it has a living presence to it. Okay, and so you're gonna notice that the people that interact with the stuff that you make and create, they walk away feeling something. Okay. Let's see what else, what other spiritual gifts you guys may have inherited from your mother's side of the family. Okay, we have here finding and then love. We also have your family for you guys. And that's what kind of kept coming through with your high priestess in reverse, is like, I'm going to do it differently, you know? But for you guys, the spiritual gift that you also inherited, it has to do with finding love. Whatever life or family or art, whatever you guys create, it is done with love, because you guys are trying to find and bring more love into your life, or find and bring more love into the world. It's like, this is an actual gift of you guys for people to be able to feel a sense of home when they interact with you or the stuff that you create. It's like people can sense spirit, they can sense God, they can sense the creator in the stuff that you guys make and handcraft or create. Okay, when it comes to finding and love right here. Also, you guys may be very gifted when it comes to finding love or helping other people find love. So you guys may have even been like a matchmaker for people in your life. You may have been like, I know somebody who's single that I think you would match up really, really great with. And they end up like, 5 years later, they're married or something, something crazy. So you guys may also be very good at matchmaking. And being able to see, we talked about that with the Five of Swords being incompatible. Oh, so you guys also you have a very good eye at being able to see partnerships that are going to be really healthy or really good, really compatible, or even really bad and really incompatible. You guys may be able to like tell a friend that like, listen, I know you just met this person, but it's not going to last, or it ain't going to work. And you guys might keep it to yourself. You may keep it to yourself. More than likely, you probably don't with your Five of Swords right here. You guys probably upset a lot of people because you just can tell if a relationship for them is going to work out. You guys may also have friends and family, even coworkers that come to you and go like, I just met this person. Like, do you think it's going to work? Because people may know you as someone that can really spot a good connection. So with finding love right here, this is another gift that you guys inherited for sure. And again, it has to really do with this high priestess in reverse, where it's like that side of your mother's side of the family, where it's like, I'm not going to do what my mom did. I'm not going to end up in that situation. And so because of that, you guys are really able to spot and view how to stop recreating those blockages with the Five of Swords right here, by instead, living for you versus living a life where you're constantly focused on evading and escaping and getting as far away from your mother's choices as you can. Because normally what's really crazy to me that I've always like noticed or seen is like the further that we try to get away from like our family or our parents' decisions, the more that we end up like creating them. Because it's like when you're looking backwards, you don't have as much control over where you're going because you're focused on something that's behind you, right? Instead of using it as an example and using it to kind of direct and guide where you're headed. So that is something that's just a natural gift for you guys. Let's grab a message here from your maternal bloodline. Okay, so we have here Justice. Underneath the deck, we have Reaching, and then we also have Victorious that came out. Victorious says beating your competition / enemies. This is that Five of Swords, you guys. This is that Five of Swords, overcoming obstacles, success, and power. So again, success and power, this Victorious card here is making me think, and even Justice right here, Justice also came out. It's making me think of the message that came through earlier when I said that a lot of you more specifically are healing energetic blockages when it comes to finances and education and career, your professional career, that are tied to the maternal line. Victorious here. This is you guys saying that no matter what, I will be victorious. No matter what, I will be financially independent. No matter what, I'm going to make my life my own. Like what we were talking about with your High Priestess in reverse right here. Victorious. You guys are definitely going to be victorious in that. You're meant to be victorious in that. Again, this is what I was saying for you guys is like, if you haven't experienced that success yet, do not worry because you will. You are meant to experience that success in your life. And then we have here Justice, doing what you think is right. This is what we're talking about the High Priestess in reverse, where it's like, I'm going to do the opposite of what my mom did because she made all these different mistakes. And it's like, you end up thinking that you have the answers. And it's like, life is more complicated than that. But it says doing what you think is right. Only honesty brings success, spiritual order, and truth. Okay. So with Justice right here, this is what I was talking about earlier, where it's like, you guys end up righting a lot of wrongs. Okay. Righting a lot of wrongs on your mom's side of the family. So there's a sense of justice here. Also too, being like almost like karmically protected, or having a lot of good karma, because Justice here talks about, justice in general, it talks about having good karma, and balancing those scales, because you're very balanced and you're very objective and you're very unbiased, and you live by your own code, which is exactly what we're talking about, the High Priestess right here. Okay. So this is you living by your own spiritual code, your own spiritual truth of what feels right and true to you. And then we have here Reaching underneath the deck that says the moment to act has arrived, reached your desired destination, carrying out the plan. Okay, so these messages from you guys' maternal side of the family, talking about Victorious, Justice, and Reaching, you guys are about to experience some sort of victory, some sort of success. With Reaching here saying reach your desired destination or carrying out the plan, the moment to act has arrived. You guys are about to experience some sort of victory, some sort of justice, some sort of success for sure. It's something that is coming very soon or is right around the corner. That's a very important message from you guys' maternal bloodline to you, is to know that you guys are going to be rewarded for how you have handled yourself, how you have handled maybe a particular situation, how you guys didn't go low because somebody else went really low with the Five of Swords right here. It's like, I am not going to betray myself and do something that is out of character for me just to get back at this other person, with the Five of Swords and your High Priestess in reverse right here. And then also Justice and Victory coming out for you. And then look at what the Six of Swords is holding. They're holding scales right here. The scales of justice, just like your Justice card, you guys. This is you guys, like good karma coming right back to you because you handled something in a way that you didn't necessarily have to. It could have been a very triggering situation, and you guys decided to handle it with like grace or love or compassion, or just to not engage and just be like, listen, I'm gonna just let karma get you. And karma, good karma, is coming right back to you guys for Victorious and Justice to come out. And then we also have the scales of justice right here. Okay. And the High Priestess, she's sort of like the spiritual version of physical justice in the major arcana of tarot too. Okay. Let's see what other gifts you guys may have inherited from your mother's side of the family. And we have here Oh, this is 2 cards. We have here healing, crystals healing, and then candle illumination. And then underneath the deck, dictionary communication. So you guys may be very gifted with words. You may know how to use your words as spells. You may also too, because this looks like a Bible in this dictionary card, some of you guys, you may be very, very good at using sacred text to communicate with spirit or to even manifest certain things. You know how like a lot of people, they will refer to Psalms, the book of Psalms in the Christian Bible, in order to manifest certain things or to heal certain things or to get rid of certain things spiritually. So with dictionary communication right here, you guys are also very gifted when it comes to writing. Okay. So you guys may also have a natural gift of automatic writing as well. With dictionary communication, you may notice that when you start to write things down, that it seems like there is some sort of spiritual intervention, like something spiritually kind of takes over your pen or what you're writing. You may notice that when you script things and that you write things down, that they end up manifesting or they end up coming to fruition with dictionary communication right here. But just know that like, you guys, like when it comes to verbally, like words, you guys are really powerful with your words. And then we have our crystals healing. Some of you guys, you're very gifted with crystals. You're very gifted, again, with earth spirits, like what we were talking about with the animals right here too. You guys are very, very gifted at working with crystals in general. You may be able to feel crystals, to sense them. When you hold them, you may feel different sensations like coldness or warmness or electricity. Like you may be able to work with them very, very well. You guys may even use crystals as a way to heal when it comes to like, you know, if somebody comes to you and they're like, I'm going through X, Y, and Z in my life, you guys may be able to tell them, hey, go buy this crystal or give them this crystal. Or you may be able to direct them to something like go read the scripture or go do X, Y, and Z in order to bring healing into that part of their life. And then we have your candle here, illumination. So again, you guys are very aware. You came into this life with with being illuminated to what has been plaguing or blocking the mother side of your family with candle illumination right here. Okay. So you guys may also be very gifted at working with candles or working with fire, working with the flame as well. And then I even forgot too, we have here for you guys, dictionary. Like I said, it looks like a Bible on this card. And we kind of talked about that with your high priestess, that she is holding a sacred text. So a sacred text is something about books, knowledge, reading, communicating, or gaining more knowledge is also something that you guys are very gifted at, or it's going to help unlock certain gifts that you guys inherited from your mom's side of the family too. And then just a final message here from the ancestors on your mom's side of the family. What do they want to say to pile 2? Okay, we have here focus on children, pregnancy, birth, and adoption. And underneath the deck here, we have explore your creative side, just like creative expression, visualize, paint, and record. I have to read both of these because focus on children reminds me of this family card here, finding love, you guys creating your own sense of family and what that looks like and means to you. But just know too, for some of you, like if you want to have children or more children, just know that there is definitely a baby. There's some sort of a baby or a child here, or a sense of like new life coming into you guys' world very soon as well. Okay, with focus on children right here. So I'm going to read both of these out of the book because they both came up for you, between family, focus on children, and explore your creative side and creative expression right here. Like that's crazy. So I'm going to read both of these. And focus on children here says babies, pregnancy, and children are being highlighted for you when this card appears. You may have been considering conceiving, fostering, or adopting a child, even an animal too, you guys, or a pet, because we have animals over here for you. And then it says this card is giving you a heads up to let you know that there is a child who wants to come to you and your family. This child doesn't have to be your biological child. It could be a niece, nephew, adopted child, stepchild, or foster child. Or again, it could be a fur baby too. And then we have divinatory meaning that says if you already have children or grandchildren, this card is a reminder for you to connect with them and spend more time with your family. Children are a blessing. They really do heal people and bring family members together in a positive way. Look at the children in your life and be thankful for the amazing gift that they are to you. If you have children who have passed away, this card confirms that they are safe, happy, and still around you. They love you very much. And then with explore your creative side, it says here, get your artistic energy flowing. Try to make time for yourself to paint, write, sing, play, bake, or build every day. If you can only find a few minutes at a time, regularly engaging your imagination will make a noticeable difference to your energy. You do not have to be an artist, musician, or chef. When you start thinking more creatively, you invite inspiration and ingenuity to all you do. Divinatory meaning says when you unlock your imagination, you are opening yourself to healing energy from the universe. And we do have healing that came out for you with crystals healing. So also what this could be saying, because it says right here, when you unlock your imagination, you are opening yourself to healing energy from the universe. And who has the strongest imagination around? Like kids do, so it's like, get in touch with your inner child. This focus on children could also be a message for you, pile 2, to focus on connecting or reconnecting with your inner child and allowing them to come out so you guys can get into that creative space. Okay, and then it says here, creativity is connected to your passion, your solar plexus, and sexual chakras. It is also linked to life force and positive energy. When you are not using your creativity, you can start to feel restless, frustrated, or numb. Re-energized by painting, planting, sewing, singing, playing, or thinking outside of the box. This card also encourages you to look for a unique solution to a problem. We do have Victorious over here, Justice, and Reach Your Desired Destination, and the 5 of Swords over here. So you guys are definitely meant to be victorious when it comes to some sort of solving some sort of problem or an issue that you may be dealing with in your life. But pile 2, this is it. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, and your maternal ancestors for coming through and delivering these messages. You guys stay safe, healthy, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with you guys' tarot cards, and we're going to be pulling some oracle messages to look into what gifts, what spiritual gifts you inherited from your mother's side of the family. And then we'll pull some oracle messages to get some more details and even messages from the ancestors on your maternal side. So starting off here, we have the 7 of Cups. Then we have the Devil, who I have to cover up because they're naked. And then we have the Queen of Cups here. Okay, I had to cover them up because YouTube is not about to age restrict me. Anyways, you guys, pile 3. Starting off, you may have a rough relationship with your mom. You could have had a rougher sort of relationship with her growing up. There could have been a lot of back and forth, a lot of on and off in your relationship where you're speaking, not speaking, or you could have even come to understand her much later on in life. You may have lost your mom early in life or dealt with a void left behind by the absence of a mother figure or your idea of what a mom is supposed to be. All right, sorry you guys, had to turn off my AC. It should be off soon because it like literally has gotten louder and louder. Anyways, yeah, many of you may be working on healing your relationship to your mom or with femininity in general, feminine energy, or even just women overall. Those relationships may have always been triggering to some degree. And funny enough, you guys' gifts that you got from your mother's side are activated through the feminine vessel. So think sacral chakra, heart chakra, the third eye. You guys have a strong gift of working with water as well, water spirits. Water may speak to you when you are around water, which might sound weird if you haven't experienced that yet. But you guys have a powerful way of using water as a medium for spiritual work. Water is a portal, right? Mainly to memories because water contains, it holds, it remembers, it can even recall the future because in the spirit realm, time is not linear. Past, present, and future are all happening at the same time simultaneously. And this is why many seers that can see many different directions in one timeline, they can work with water. And this is why water is used to baptize, cleanse, heal, purify, and connect, because within water, the code to creation and life lies there. And there's an interesting message coming through for you guys that your guys are trying to communicate here, where every soul that incarnates into your mother's side of the family, they play almost like a lottery of spiritual skills where they don't know what they're going to get. And it's funny because earlier in a different pile, what came through for them was everyone having similar gifts on the mother's side, where they might all have the gift of sight or mediumship, for example, but different expressions of it where they use their gifts differently. You, on the other hand, pile 3, there's a wild mix here of gifts, a variety of them, where when a soul specifically wants to experience a different gift or like hone a new skill set, they'll choose a family with this sort of bloodline where destiny decides for them what cards they are dealt spiritually, where they want less control over the core themes that they get to experience in one lifetime. It's like if a video game didn't have a fixed storyline or gameplay and you could do whatever the hell you wanted to do. Like, think like Grand Theft Auto style if you've ever seen that game. So the guides here are showing me some incarnations are like this, where the soul chooses this sort of bloodline on purpose, where the path is less defined so the soul can experience a bit more freedom or even like a bit more spontaneity, a bit more variety within that incarnation, especially with the Devil card right here, which tells me that control is likely a main focus that you guys have struggled with or has kind of like yo-yo throughout your life, where some seasons you've been really strict and really on top of your game, and maybe other times throughout your life you may have felt like it may have kind of felt like a free-for-all where you can't catch up, or it may feel like your life or destiny are completely out of your hands and things feel random. There could have been even difficulties here with a sense of addiction and, being dependent on certain things or being dependent on certain people, even, and relationships in general, because we can be dependent or even addicted to anything, damn near anything. But yeah, there may be very many life events that to you guys still make little to no sense, or you struggle to see how these experiences connect, or you may struggle to see the point or the lesson behind them. Many of you know what it's like for life to feel meaningless with the Devil card right here, and you have had to find or create purpose for yourself. And that is one of the gifts that you guys have inherited from your mother's side, is helping others to make sense of their life or their life path or even trauma. And it's very Chiron dominated here. Chiron may be in your first house or your seventh house. It may tightly aspect one of your personal planets or your ruling planet. So like, let's just say that you are a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn rising or a Capricorn even moon. Then Chiron could tightly aspect Saturn in your chart somehow. And an aspect is like a conjunction, square, opposition, sextile, trine. And Chiron is an asteroid in astrology that deals, it's called the wounded healer, because it means that it's a master healer in astrology who is dealing and living with an eternal wound that he cannot heal, even though he can heal any and everyone else. Whatever issue, injury, wound, affliction that they come to him with, he can heal them. He is a master healer, but the one person he can't heal is himself. And it makes Chiron deeply empathic in astrology, but also on the flip side, it can make Chiron desperate in a sense, where Chiron desperately wants to feel a sense of wholeness or a sense of relief and being free of that wound, even if just for a moment, because Chiron doesn't know what it's like to not live with that wound. So there's a sense here of Chiron being such a good healer because he gets to live vicariously through his healing gifts, where he's like, oh, I healed that person. That's such a beautiful thing. I wish I could do that for myself. But even though I can't do that for myself, I'm going to do that for other people. It makes him go harder as a healer because he knows what it's like to live with that wound. And that's what makes him so deeply empathic in astrology. And so I've always said, like, when people have their Chiron activated, they can heal others. And so the one way that Chiron may be able to experience some sense of relief is when other people are working through their Chiron. And so Chiron in an astrology chart is going to represent a place where that horoscope is eternally wounded. And there is like a entry point there. There's a sense of fragility there, and tenderness, where when you hit that part on a horoscope, it reverberates through that entire chart. That entire chart feels it. It's kind of like when it's like a toothache or something, and it's like you can't heal that toothache without dealing with whatever's going on in the root. Chiron is the root of, it's the source of a deep wound or pain in an astrology chart. And so you guys here, you feel so Chiron dominated. It's not even funny. And Chiron it may be involved in a stellium in you guys' chart, which means that it's surrounded by a lot of other planets, or Chiron could be in your 12th house. You could have been born with Chiron in your 12th house. You don't have to have any of these placements for this reading to still apply to you, but I just want to mention what is coming through at the top of my head, because Chiron feels so present in your chart right now. Chiron could also just be transiting through your first house, your fourth house. It may be kind of passing over your sun or your moon right now. But yeah, many of you are very gifted, could be like numerologists or astrologers or tarot readers, herbologists, therapists, Reiki healers, shamans, but you may struggle to heal or make sense of your own story. And if this is the case for you, use water, use bodies of water, showers, baths, moon gazing, dream work. These mediums will help you tap into your own vessel. There may be a lot of trapped or even suppressed feelings and memories, and your guides are showing me that suppression is like an anchor on your gifts, keeping them submerged. It's like you have to go deep diving past your subconscious and even into your unconscious for some shadow integration in order to free some of your gifts, because they're kind of like lying dormant with the Devil card right here. And if there's any shame that you've been holding on to, any internalized experiences, that is where some of your gifts are being held, pile 3, again with the Devil card right here. But guess what? You hold the keys to unlocking them with the Queen of Cups. If you do end up doing some shadow integration, please be very gentle with yourself. Many times, shadow work, it asks us to reparent, remother, refather the parts of us that felt like even our own parent couldn't accept or love that part of us. And so we don't know where to put that or how to hold that. And it gets left as unprocessed emotions, because it's like, what am I supposed to do with this part of me that feels rejected, that feels unloved, that feels abandoned? Once you guys do this for yourself and get to experience this process firsthand, you're going to be able to easily do this for other people. The thing is that you guys have a gift that you inherited from your mother's side to perform transmutation masterfully. Again, just like Chiron, how he's able to take that pain and transform it, transmute it, and heal it, because that's what transmutation is. It's being able to take something in one element or one quality and transmute it, transform it into something else entirely. And so this reminds me a lot as well of like a Set, or her Greek name is Isis. You may know her as, and I feel her so strongly in your reading. So she may be very close to you, pile 3. Another thing you guys are good at is petitioning certain spirits to work with you. So this could definitely be conjuring work here as well. Hypnosis, even music, using sound. Think of like a siren, like mermaid, Neptunian sort of energy. For many of you, the gifts that you inherited from your mother's side have felt like a burden or a curse or a bad thing with the Devil card over here. Queen of Cups says later on in life, a lot of your journey is going to make perfect sense to you. Or you're going to be able to more easily accept some parts of your journey that you may have, again, always struggled to hold or to understand, or to even love that part of yourself. And so you guys inherited a maternal spirit. Think a Set or a Yemaya, or like Mother Mary, or any other sort of like, goddess that is associated with motherhood, right? Think of that, or even Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. Think of moon energy in astrology. So the gifts that you did inherit from your mother's side may have also all flooded in at once and hit you out of nowhere with your 7 of Cups right here. And so what I mean by that is that you may have spent like the first part of your life having experienced like little to no spiritual phenomena, and then all of a sudden one day when you were 16 or 24 or 34 or whatever age, all of a sudden you saw an apparition out of nowhere. All of a sudden your ancestors came to you and told you X, Y, and Z. Like your gifts could have also flooded in after a major life event, even a near-death accident, doing some really heavy energy work, like maybe even being put under a trance, taking psychedelics, or the first time that you got high, even with the 7 of Cups and the Devil card here. And ever since then, your third eye, your spiritual gifts, has stayed active. So also to you guys, I want to tell you to be careful with alcohol. I don't know why. I don't know who this is for. This is only for a handful of you here. I do not know why, but again, a very strong message here is coming through for very few of my pile threes to be careful with alcohol, because there's a reason that alcohol is referred to as spirits, okay? And you guys here in this pile three, you're deeply empathic. You are an empath. You have the abilities of a very gifted, strong empath. We all have empathic abilities, but for some of us, it's a little bit more strong than others. Some of us were born with our empathic abilities already being very activated. And so for you guys, be very careful when it comes to alcohol. If you notice that when you drink alcohol, you end up having like bad dreams or nightmares, or you end up seeing things very clearly, feeling things very deeply, be very careful with alcohol and any sort of substances, because something about your portal, it blows wide open when you are under the influence of anything or something else. So be very careful, even when you guys are doing meditation. If you guys are doing really, like, you guys may also be gifted with astral projection, or it may be something that you guys have experienced, or even something like sleep paralysis. So be very careful when you step into these spaces or you do these things, like before you meditate or before you go to bed. Pray or ask your guides, your spiritual team, to protect you, because especially when we go to sleep, we slip into different dimensions. Our consciousness, it goes out and it explores. And so it's almost like a sense of astral projection that we go through and we perform every single night when we sleep. Like, our consciousness goes somewhere, which is why we have wild dreams and stuff. So you guys, a very specific message here for some of you, or just a few of you in this pile, to be very careful when you are experimenting with substances and alcohol, especially. Somebody on your maternal side, an ancestor, someone on your maternal side wants to say that they want to confirm for you that yes, alcohol has a different effect on you, where the reason why you have such vivid experiences after you drink, and you don't even have to get super drunk. You could just have a glass of wine or something, or just get a little tipsy, and all of a sudden it feels like you are transported into a whole different dimension, and you can sense more energies and spirits around you. It's because you already have very deeply, powerfully empath abilities. So when you drink or you do anything that takes you into a different sphere of consciousness, your sensitivities become even more vulnerable. You are even more aware of the energies around you. The air is full of spirits, okay? And so you guys be very, very, very careful with that. Again, I don't know who that's for, but I just needed to say that. So let's start grabbing some oracle messages here. Let's see. What other gifts you guys have inherited from your mother's side? Pile 3. Okay. Dream work too, you guys. We had look, protected. You are safe and supported while you change your career. Okay, so some of you may be in between jobs or trying to change your career, wanting to change your career path. You may be sort of starting to realize that it's like you want to do different work, but just know, you guys, that you are definitely protected as you are looking for a different career, different work. The Devil card is ruled by Capricorn, and Capricorn does have to do with like our professional aspirations and our ambitions and our career choices and career moves. So you guys are definitely protected as you make some sort of a change in your career, but also too, you guys are just protected. And this looks like Archangel Michael on this card. And you guys are very able to call in this archangel, or even other spirits that are, their priority is in doing protective work or protection work. So with protected right here, this is what I was saying for you guys, like before you go to bed or before you meditate, before you do any sort of spiritual work, or you tap into your medium and your portal, go to your spiritual team, call in protection. Okay. But just know that you're protected and you guys are fine. You're definitely fine, but just call it in. Okay. Energy healing here says your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life's purpose. Energy healing. Yeah. This is exactly what we were talking about with that Chiron influence here. Energy healing. You guys have natural healing abilities that you have inherited from your mother's side right here. You guys may even be really good at working with chakras in the energy centers, or working with things like sound or meditation, Reiki, you know, like moving energy through people's bodies, or yoga, or, you know, you guys may, I feel like a lot of you guys, like, you're meant to get into the energy healing spaces, like professionally, between protected, talking about your career, and then energy healing right here. Your natural healing abilities are an important part of your life's purpose. It says that it is an important part of your life's purpose. So I feel like you guys are actually meant to get into this space as like your actual job or your work as well, because you guys are just naturally gifted with it. You're meant to be an energy healer in this life. And that's another thing that you guys inherited from your mother's side of the family, is this purpose of being an energy healer. Let's see what other gifts you guys inherited from your mother's side of the family. Pile 3. Okay, and we have here compassion. This is what we were talking about with Chiron, how he is deeply empathic and he lives vicariously through his healing abilities. You guys have a very deep level of compassion, and given everything that you guys have gone through, this is why I kept calling you guys, referring to you as a empath, a very powerful empath. Empaths naturally are going to move with more compassion. I think it's, is it Sirius? I think is one of the star seeds. It's very like compassion. I really don't know, because I'm not that educated in it, so I don't even know why I mentioned it. But anyways, you guys just like, you came into this life, even if this life hasn't been very kind to you, you can't help but to be compassionate and have compassion for other people. And this may be why a lot of you are very protective with yourself in your heart space, because you know that it's very easy for you to feel or to put yourself in other shoes with compassion right here. But don't look at your compassion as like a weakness, especially with these 2 cups cards right here and the devil card in the center. This may be why some of you have used other substances in order to almost like numb yourself so you didn't feel so much, is because you were so deeply compassionate. And your compassion is actually a gift that you inherited from your mother's side. So do your best to not blame compassion or be angry at yourself for being so compassionate or being so loving or being so forgiving or being so empathic. Try not to look at that part of yourself as a weak, or try not to say like, I wish I didn't feel so easily for other people. It is a gift of yours. Now, do you need to create some protective barriers around it? You might, and that is up for you to determine and to decide. Okay, because the Queen of Cups, as compassionate as she is, she's extremely protective, which is why her cup is closed. Okay, you'll notice that hers and the King, they're the 2 cards in the suit of cups, where their cups is actually, it's closed. It's got a top on it, and so that's to say that it's like not everybody gets access to this, because they know the type of compassion and the type of energy that they are carrying. Okay, so with compassion right here, this is actually a gift of yours. And then we have here answers. So you guys can also have the gift of being able to go to source or go to spirit, go to the universe, and get some clarity, get some answers, whether this is for yourself or even other people. We do have the energy healing card right here. So you guys are definitely able to get down to these maybe even spiritual affliction, or the spiritual needs that people have and what they need to do in order to heal whatever is going on in their own life or in their own family, in their own body, especially between energy healing and answers right here. And then we also have the Devil card, and then we also have the Queen of Cups, and then even protected. So you guys are definitely able to call on different spirits and get answers from them. Okay, so you guys may also be very gifted at divining too. 7 of Cups right here means that you may have a lot of different random gifts that may seem like they don't necessarily connect. But answers is definitely one of them, where you guys are able to, people may come to you and ask you if you can go to spirit or the universe for them. So people may use you as a medium is like an intermediary between themselves and spirit. Other people may come to you because they're like, you get answers like this. You get God to respond like that. You get answers from the universe. You somehow know things so easily. So people may use you to go to spirit and communicate to spirit to figure out whatever is going on with them or their family or their life as well. Okay, let's grab some messages here for you from your maternal side of the family or maternal bloodline. What do they want to say to you? We have here freedom. And then it says power to do what you want, celebrating independence. Nothing can stop you. Pile 3, nothing can stop you. Okay. This is what I was kind of talking about a little bit with the devil card right here for you guys, is that control, a sense of control or a lack thereof may have been a core theme for you guys in this life. And it's because your soul chose your mother's bloodline to incarnate into, because what did I mention? I literally mentioned verbatim that your soul intended and wanted to experience an incarnation that felt like it had a bit more freedom, a bit more flexibility on its path. And that's why you guys is like, that's why I mentioned that it's like when a soul incarnates into your mother's side of the family, it's almost like playing a lottery where it's like, I don't know what spiritual gifts I'm going to get. This is kind of fun, you know? So it's like a crapshoot. For you guys with freedom right here, the fact that this came out again is basically the ancestors on your maternal side wanting to confirm that message that your soul is here to experience a level of freedom. And look at what we have. We have the devil card here. And in the devil card, they're actually chained up to the devil. I can't show you guys because YouTube will age restrict the video if it catches or senses any nudity in the video, which is so annoying. I don't know why it picks some channels to do that, and why I have no clue. But anyways, though, they're actually chained up to the devil in that card, right? That's because the devil card talks about the different things that we are enslaved to or dependent on or addicted to. For instance, where we're like a caged bird and we can't get free. The devil card is about a emancipation process where we are liberated, we are freed from the shackles, the different things in our life that have kept us suppressed. And that's what I was saying when I use that analogy of like the different things, life events that you guys have gone through or have survived, been like an anchor on some of your gifts, where it's kept some of your gifts submerged underneath those very, very difficult life events that some of you guys may have gone through. And you guys have to go deep diving in order to free those gifts. And we have here freedom. The fact that this is coming out as a specific message from you guys' maternal bloodline to you means that the ancestors on your maternal bloodline are here and ready. They are at the ready when it comes to, it's basically like they're saying like, when you jump, we're jumping with you. When you go diving to go free that part of yourself or your soul from this past experience, we are right there with you, because guess what? They're taking on this purpose. They're taking on this mission with you. You are not alone. Pile 3. Some of you guys may have struggled with feeling a little bit of, you are absolutely not alone when it comes to trying to get through things in life that have made you feel trapped or have created a sense of trauma for you. With the devil card right here, a lot of you guys have had to get through some very difficult things on your own. You haven't been able to turn to other people in your life. And oh yeah, I also forgot that I did mention that some of you guys, you may have had a difficult relationship or even like an on and off relationship with your mother. Just know, you guys, that you have ancestors on your maternal side that are like, when you say let's go, we're right there. We are right there going with you. Okay. And so they are here to help you free that part of yourself that may be submerged under those really difficult experiences. And then we have here the sands of time underneath the deck. It says something reaching an end, someone slipping away, or time is running out. So with sands of time here, this is for me, this is so confirmation of what came through with you guys's, I think it was the first message that I mentioned, that some of you guys may have had like an on and off relationship with the mom, with your own mother, or your maternal figure. But also with sands of time right here, something reaching an end, time is running out, someone's slipping away. This is that Devil card right here, you guys. This is what is reaching an end for you, is this karmic experience, or this experience in general of you guys feeling trapped by some sort of dependency or possibly even addiction. There's something here where, again, you guys have felt trapped between sands of time and freedom. What is reaching an end for you guys is whatever has felt like it has kept you from reaching a place where in your life where you feel free and you feel like you are, like going back to that Chiron story where it's like he is dealing with an eternal wound, right? What's reaching an end for you guys is you having to live with the wound that you thought you would never be free of. In some way, you guys are going to find relief. You guys are going to be gifted relief. You guys are going to be gifted freedom from that heavy Chiron energy. Devil card right here. You guys are finally going to feel like, oh my God, I've either overcome this, or I'm relieved from this, or I can finally make sense of this with your Queen of Cups. Okay. Protected, energy healing, answers finally coming through. Sands of time. All right. So just know that you guys are not going to be in pain forever if that's something that you've been experiencing. Okay, let's see what other gifts you guys may have inherited from your mother's side. And we have here Augur, Mastery underneath the deck. And then we have Crystal Ball here, Clarity. Sounds a lot like your Answers card. And Augur Mastery is exactly what I kept referring to with Chiron. He is a master healer. You got whatever this spiritual gift is. You guys' soul came into, you incarnated into your mother's bloodline because you mastered some other sort of spiritual gift. So that may be a gift that you guys kind of have, but you don't focus on too much in this lifetime because your soul intentionally incarnated into your mother's bloodline. So it could experience getting to know some other spiritual gifts or getting to master them. And this may be why so many of you almost feel a little bit lost in this life, or you have gone through a feeling of being like, why am I here? What is the point of all this? Especially like what I was talking about, the Devil card here, is that you guys may have dealt with life feeling meaningless at one point. And this is why, because your soul intentionally came into this life through your mother's bloodline. It portaled into this lifetime through your mother's bloodline in order to experience a sense of freedom. And sometimes with freedom comes a sense of directionlessness, if that's a word. I don't think it is, but it's like there's no directions because we're free. We can do whatever the hell we want. And so sometimes we can almost grieve a sense of like knowing where to go or what to do. Okay. And so with freedom right here and Augur Mastery coming out, Crystal Ball Clarity, some of you guys, you were meant to go just live and be free. Some of you guys haven't learned how to or maybe you haven't like accepted that sense of freedom in your life where it's like, I don't have a lot of direction right now, or a lot of guidance right now, or a lot of, I feel like I don't have a sense of purpose right now. You're meant to be in that space for a reason. Trust me, as someone that has been there and spent a lot of their lives in that space of being like, what the hell is like, what am I doing? All of that, like looking back now, all of that led to me having such a sense of purpose now. And so I can understand that to a certain degree. And I think a lot of us can. I think a lot of people can. And so for you guys, I'm saying that to say that you may be at a point in time in your path right now where you are meant to be a bit more free and to have a bit more flexibility, because when you have a lot of flexibility, Spirit can use you for a lot of things. You can become a very effective medium for the universe because you're not attached to so many things. You're not tethered and anchored to so many things. Okay, so with Augur Mastery here and Crystal Ball Clarity, just know that your life is going to refine itself. Things are going to get more clear, especially with Answers over here, you guys. Things are going to get a lot more clear for you. But at this point in time, if you're feeling a bit like, I don't have a lot of direction, I don't really know what I'm doing or where I'm at, or I don't feel like I have any sort of one purpose that I belong to. I wish I had something that, inspired me or motivated me or that I was passionate about that I could master. That is coming for you. That is 1,000,000% coming for you. But things are starting to get more and more defined, more and more clear for you over time. Okay, so it's a gradual process here. Sands of time. I forgot we had that card. It's a gradual process for you, but it's happening. Okay, and just a final message here from the ancestors on your maternal side of the family. What do they want to say to you? Okay, so we have a couple of cards here. So we have, look, go with the flow. This is your freedom right here, you guys. You're meant to just go with the flow, just to embrace freedom right now. Go with the flow. Let go, rest, manifest. You guys are meant to feel detached right now and kind of like you're floating and kind of like you don't really belong anywhere for the time being. This is a very specific part of your path, okay? We also have your clear your mind, be present, focus, and embrace. Embrace where you are at right now. Clear your mind. We also have your answers. And then we also have crystal ball clarity. Clarity is coming. And then underneath the deck here, we have embrace your inner gypsy. Freedom coming out again. You guys see that? Freedom, fun, music. You're meant to be in a place right now where it's like you're free, you're flexible. If you end up coming to a place or a stage in life where it's like you're just free and you can kind of do what you want to do and it feels weird or it feels uncomfortable, you are meant to be there, okay? You're so meant to be there. Some of you are coming out of that place where it's like, I got to do whatever I wanted to do. And now life is starting to get maybe a bit more serious or a bit more refined or a bit more, I'm starting to kind of like close in on what I'm supposed to do. Or now I know what I want. Now I know what I'm going after. Now I know, now I'm building a certain sort of life for myself. So some of you could be coming out of that stage of life, but either way, this part of that phase of life where you were just free and you could do whatever you want, it was for a very specific reason. Okay. And it was, destined that way on purpose. I'm actually going to read all three of these for you guys. Some of you guys, your maternal ancestors, they could have been more, they could have been gypsies even too in some way. Anyways, I'm going to read all three of these out of the book for you. Embrace your inner gypsy here says the ancestor spirits want to help you feel like a creative gypsy. Have you had the desire to run away and leave everything behind you? Okay, you guys are meant to experience being able to leave everything behind you, being freed. Again, like what we talked about, the devil card right here. This is about an emancipation. This is about liberation, okay? And it says, have you been feeling like a caged bird? I think I literally mentioned being a caged bird in you guys' reading. I think I did. It says, have you been feeling like a caged bird or a hamster on a wheel? It's time to free yourself. Like we have freedom, be passionate and begin to enjoy life again. And it says, you do not need to run away or become a nomad, but you do need to do something that can release your stress levels. You may like to dance, sing, travel, or go to a festival or a marketplace. A lot of you guys are meant to go travel or meant to kind of not belong to any one place for a time. Divinatory meaning here says, consider what you want to get back. Consider what you can do to get back to your fun-loving, free-spirited self. If you cannot make the changes today, put things into place so you don't feel stagnant or trapped. Book a holiday, plan an outing, or a dance in your lounge room. Free your mind and your soul by doing things that make you feel alive and passionate. You are not meant to feel like a caged animal. Be true to yourself. This is that devil card right here, like how they're in chains. It says, be true to yourself and to what you want to do and free yourself today. Wow. And just know that you guys are protected. Like you don't have to belong to something or be anchored to something in order to be protected. You guys are protected no matter where you are. You guys are never alone, okay? Clear your mind here says, this card reminds you to slow down and take stock of what is important to you right now. You may have lost your connection to who and what matters most. This could be that sands of time. This could be, again, you guys losing that anchor in your life, that kind of central point in your life that made you feel like you were attached to something or like you belong somewhere. It says, if there is too much confusion around you, you may lose focus. This is that 7 of Cups and that devil card right here. Try not to get distracted from your values. Be clear about who you are and your immediate needs. This is that Queen of Cups. Avoid putting your happiness and well-being off for another day. Divinatory meaning says when you are focused, your energy has direction and purpose. Engaging in the moment helps you avoid distractions so you can give your attention to the task or people at hand. Be clear about what is important to you. Being clear about what is important to you encourages the universe to flow with your intentions and goals, just like we have clarity and answers over here. And it says appreciate the Piraha's, I believe, philosophy of living in the here and now. Again, embrace freedom, you guys. Don't keep looking to the past. Try not to worry about the future and enjoy what you are experiencing in the present. Be in the here and now, you guys, okay? And then go with the flow. Go with the flow here says relax, let go, and go with the flow. You don't need to control a situation. Yes, you guys don't need to be anchored. It says you don't need to control a situation, know everything that is going to happen, or plan everything in advance. Time out is just as important as time doing, so don't feel guilty about gifting yourself some relaxation. When you go with the flow, you can manifest more quickly and easily. Again, it's so crazy that freedom came out for you guys, and then a few cards talking about go with the flow and embrace your freedom and your inner gypsy. And that was a direct message that came through when we were talking about you guys' devil card, that your soul intentionally incarnated into your mother's side of the family so that it could experience more freedom and flexibility in this lifetime. And so you guys may have struggled with themes of or seasons in your life where it's like you had a lot of control and were super strict. And then other times where it's like you felt like you didn't know what was going on and like you weren't connected to anything. Okay, and divinatory meaning here says, when you try to force a situation, it can block the natural flow. Take time out to relax and gather your thoughts. Once you have loosened up, release any fears or self-doubt, trust in the universe and see where it directs you. To help you relax and go with the flow, imagine healing white light flowing through every part of your body, just as water flows in a river. And again, you guys work with water, okay? It's interesting that they brought up water here, water flowing in a river. It says, when you are ready, affirm that the universe is taking care of everything. Take a deep breath and relax. Okay. And pile 4. Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. Pile 3. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit for these messages. And as well as the ancestors on your maternal side for coming through. You guys stay safe, healthy, blessed. Keep conquering the world. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with you guys as tarot cards. Then we're going to be pulling some oracle messages to look into what gifts, what spiritual gifts did you inherit from your mother's side of the family. So starting off with your tarot cards, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Magician. And then we have the Lovers in reverse, and I have to cover them up. So one second. Okay, so right away, pile 4, the spiritual gifts that you inherited from your mother's side have a lot to do with manifesting, because we have the Magician card right here. So you may definitely have noticed throughout your life that something always comes through right before things hit the fan. Like, let's say that like you needed money for a bill right before things got turned off. The money that you needed, the exact amount came through. Also, you guys, between your Queen of Swords and the Magician, you may notice that your manifestations hit exactly the way that you envisioned them, or exactly the way that you asked for them. Like if you manifested a partner and you asked for someone who is a specific height and works a specific job and looks like X, Y, or Z, you may have ended up calling that exact partner in. The more detailed your manifestations are with the Queen of Swords, the more easily they come in for you guys, because Queen of Swords is the Queen of Air who deals with communication, intelligence, information. So the more you guys know what you want, the more easily it comes in, or the more clearly and the more detailed your manifestations are with the Queen of Swords, the more easily they come in, because the Queen of Swords is Queen of Air, and she's going to deal with communication, intelligence, information. So the more that you guys know what you want, the more easily it comes in, or the more clearly and precisely it comes to fruition with the Magician, because the Magician is the card of necessity actually in tarot. It's like when someone says like, I need a career. So they figure out what skills and talents that they have, which is what we see with the Magician. He collects a sword, a wand, a cup, and a pentacle, which is translated as him pulling all of his skills together, because skills are resources, right? And we can get paid to do the things that we're good at. And that's what he does. So someone who needs a career would do the same thing. Maybe they would go to school or get certified or get training so they can secure that job and then afford the life that they want to live. But to those outside looking in that didn't watch that entire process unfold, all they see is the end result. They didn't see the years put in of saving and budgeting so they could afford school or training in order to get ahead professionally. It looks like magic when all you see is the result. You guys inherited the gift of manifestation, which we all did. Everyone has the ability to manifest because we are all manifesting 24/7. But some people have figured out exactly how to communicate with the universe. Manifestation is a language that is specific to each individual person. And how we interact with quantum mechanics in order to get the universe to bend to our will is the muscle that we have to exercise and practice using in order to get a deeper understanding of how to use it. So you guys inherited this gift more strongly than most people, which is why you may have always had an easier time calling in or manifesting certain things in your own way. For instance, it may be super easy for you to manifest work opportunities or money or friends or partnerships or a home or fill in the blank. It may be second nature for you to step into your I am presence, which magician is the essence of the law of assumption or utilizing the Godhead. You guys may have always known how to change your identity in order to manifest a brand new life. Whatever this is, it always came naturally to you. And it's because you inherited this gift more strongly through your mother's side and can watch the exact thing that you're calling for come to fruition with the Queen of Swords right here. Also, you guys may notice that you're either claircognizant, which is clear knowing. So this is like somehow knowing things that you shouldn't know, or you were never taught, or you were never exposed to this knowledge, but somehow you're very familiar with it. You guys may be gifted with clairaudience as well, which is clear sound, being able to hear spirit or the spirit realm very clearly. Also, you guys inherited the gift of getting very direct messages from spirit. You know how like some dreams, for instance, are like metaphors that you have to decode? No, you guys inherited, this pile from your cards here. You guys get very clear, direct messages or even instructions from source. Something else that you guys inherited from your mother's side with the Lovers in reverse is the gift of cutting and severing soul ties, especially within karmic partnerships and karmic connections with the Lovers in reverse over here. And it's specifically, your guides are showing me that you guys inherited the gift of not having to stay and grasp the full lesson of karmic partnerships. And what I believe they mean by that is you guys may have a certain sensitivity to karmic connections and may be able to spot them very easily and very early on in the relationship. And because of that, you guys get out of that connection early. And whatever this karmic connection was trying to teach you or show you, you ended up seeing it for yourself, because that's the point of karmic experience. We call them in a lot of times in order to raise our awareness, which is why they are so triggering, because karmic experiences can be very instrumental and can be used as a tool in order to help awaken us to certain things that we're not noticing. They're kind of like in our blind spot. So when we interact with karmic lessons, karmic experiences, karmic partnerships, it's like whatever was in our blind spot ends up coming right into view, and it takes up space in our consciousness. So it's like it sort of gets promoted from the unconscious to the subconscious and then the conscious, where it's right there in front of our face. And now we can deal with it directly, just like you guys have the Queen of Swords right here, even though they're quite triggering. But it's kind of like when the body has a reaction, right? And we end up with acne because our body is trying to tell us something that we're doing or eating. It doesn't agree with us and we need to cut back on it. But the acne is what gets our attention. Karmic experiences are acne breakouts for the soul. You guys have inherited the gift of being able to spot these connections or experiences and break them off before they get really going, or they get really serious, before their consequences become more severe or more serious. You guys are able to break that off. And then through that clear knowing, that claircognizance, you guys immediately sense what karmic lesson is trying to get your attention. And then you guys do the work. And through that work, you guys cut that soul tie for good. This tells me that you guys also inherited a very strong sense of self-awareness in this life too. And that also ties into your manifesting abilities, like what we talked about earlier, where you guys know how to work with and talk to the universe in your own way, where it responds really clearly and quickly with the Queen of Swords and your Magician card right here. And yeah, it's because you guys inherited a very strong sense of self-awareness. Some of you may have chosen to be single or even spend a significant amount of time alone. So you can focus more on self-development too with your Lover's card in reverse right here. And that's a really big focus for a lot of you in this pile. And again, we all have self-awareness, but some of us are more honest about what we realize or recognize within ourselves than others. Some of us will try to talk ourselves out of or excuse whatever we see within ourselves while others of us are like, nope, that's exactly what's going on. And you guys also watch out for 1111. Yeah, watch out for 1111. It just popped up on my clock. But let's see what other spiritual gifts you guys have inherited from your mother's side. Also, too, some of you may have been drawn to pile 1. Wow. Okay, so we have here nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. Some of you are very gifted with cooking. And also when I think about culinary skills, I think about like science, like bringing things together that are very healing or very nutritious. So that is another gift that you guys have inherited from your mother's side, is knowing how to bring certain things together, exactly like what we were talking about, the magician card here, where he pulls all his resources together. He combines that cup with that pinnacle, with that sword, with that wand, in order to make those ends meet. Okay, so for the magician, it's all about supplying some sort of means to an end. And so, yeah, you guys here with nutrition, you're definitely able to do that. Then we have your light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing, light and love to this world. So some of you guys, you may identify as like a light worker. But also too, this is another gift that you guys inherited from your mother's side of the family, is being a light worker. And so light workers are very anointed in the sense that it's like they're able to kind of pierce or bring out other people's light and other people's gifts and other people's purpose, and make other people see their own light within themselves. So you guys are also able to help others realize and recognize their own powers, their own gifts, their own skills, and their own talents as well, with light and love right here. And then we also have builder, that says your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. So this is another thing that you guys are spiritually gifted with, or that you inherited from your mother's side of the family, is being able to build. And so this is like spiritually building. Again, this is what I was saying with like nutrition right here, is that it's like you guys are able to, it's like you're like a pharmacist, like you're able to bring certain things together that is going to be very healing, or that is going to be very strong, very secure, very stable, with builder right here in nutrition, that is going to feed other people or feed yourself in some way. So a lot of the time, again, you guys have a very strong sense of claircognizance, where it's like you just know how to bring things together, and how things are going to come together, how they're going to look. It's kind of like if you think of like a stylist, like they know how to throw some shit on, like they know how to tell someone this is what's going to look best on you. They know how to bring things together. They have like a certain eye for it, right? You guys have like an eye, you have a penchant, you have a talent here when it comes to bringing things together that's nutritious, that is healing, that can provide security and stability, with builder here as well. Okay, and that's also very inspirational with light and love over here too. Let's see what other gifts you guys have inherited from your mother's side. Psychic abilities. Straight up, you guys inherited strong psychic abilities from your mother's side. And this is kind of in line with your Queen of Swords, what I was saying about your Queen of Swords, and how you guys are claircognizant and clairaudient for sure. Psychic, just know that for a fact, you guys are definitely psychic. So you are, again, every living being has psychic ability. All these gifts here, people have access to. But the soul, the way that I've come to understand it, is that our soul kind of picks and chooses what skills or qualities or attributes we're going to need in this life, because it's doing it for the plot, right? It's like there's some sort of story here to fulfill. And so the way that I've come to understand it is that the soul, before it incarnates here and portals into earth, that it picks certain talents or skills that it's going to find useful. And one of the talents or skills that you guys picked, that your soul picked from your mother's side, is psychic ability. So a lot of women on your mother's side, or a lot of people on your mother's side, may have very strong psychic abilities. And this is something that it's like, it kind of keeps going through your mother's side, especially with the Magician card right here and the Queen of Swords right here for sure. So you guys may have very strong sight as well, being able to see, because her third eye is highlighted right here. You guys may be able to see a lot of things that other people can't see. Again, you guys have very strong clairs here. What I was picking up was more claircognizance and clairaudience, but you guys may also have very strong clairvoyant abilities where you're able to see very easily. You're able to see the spirit realm. You're able to pick up on messages and just know things for sure. Okay, and then we also have your fertility. So just know that you guys are also, you also inherited the spiritual gift of fertility, of being fertile. And you can take that literally. But also when we have the gift of fertility, or the spiritual gift of fertility, that means that you are able to multiply. And who is able to do that in tarot effortlessly? That would be the magician right here. He's able to take again, he pulls his resources together in order to create something else. So you guys are able to grow and multiply whatever you focus on, whatever you concentrate on. So whatever it is that you guys need, just know that you can multiply it, you can create it, you can bring it to life like that with fertility right here. Okay, let's grab a message here from the maternal side of your bloodline. What did they want to say to you? Doubting. Look at that. Okay, doubting and then perspective. Doubting says unsure about something or someone, lack of trust and confidence, the choice is unclear. You guys, don't doubt your gifts and abilities, okay? Some of you may doubt your gifts and abilities because you've always had them, but just know that you are very gifted. You're very gifted. You've always been gifted. You came into this life with these set of skills and spiritual gifts that you're very good at. Now, some of you with this doubting card, you're not just doubting your spiritual gifts, but you're also doubting like your human gifts and talents. You may downplay them. You may doubt that you're good at them. And some of you as well, especially between your Queen of Swords and your Magician, even your Lovers in reverse, some of you may struggle with a sense of perfectionism. And this is why you guys kind of doubt yourself, or doubt if you're good at something, or question or wonder how good you are at something. You're very good at what you do. Your natural gifts and talents, you are one of one, okay? You're extraordinary with them, but you have to know that for yourself. Whatever doubts that you guys are struggling with, take the time to build up your confidence with Builder right here. Take your time to build up your confidence when it comes to your natural gifts and abilities, especially with nutrition over here, right? Because nutrition is talking about culinary skills. And what's really interesting when it comes to chefs or whatever in general, like people that are culinary artists, is like they can cook the meanest meal ever, like, and when I mean like a good meal, but there's always going to be somebody out there that's like, but I don't like chicken, or I don't like avocados, or I don't like, and it's like, it doesn't mean that they can't cook. It just means that they came across someone who's like, I prefer, I don't know, salmon over chicken, right? But again, it doesn't mean that they can't cook. So this doubting card kind of tells me that a lot of you, whatever it is that you're kind of meant to do, the spiritual gifts that you inherited from your mother's side, you may in some way have to almost like surrender them to other people. And your spiritual gifts may be sort of left up to other people's criticism and other people's judgments. It can feel like that in a sense. And it may cause you to doubt yourself a little bit if like you're good at what you do. And do not doubt that you're meant to do what you're meant to do. Okay. It's not always going to, there's always going to be somebody out there that's like, you could cook the most incredible meal ever. And there's always going to be someone out there that is like, but I'm allergic to this, or I don't like that. Don't do it for other people's satisfaction or other people's validation. Do it because you love it. With Builder here, and Light and Love, and the Magician here. Okay, do it because you love to do it, because you're meant to do it, because it's your purpose. Don't do it to satisfy other people. If you do it to satisfy other people, you will always feel lost in your sense of purpose. Okay, your purpose will never feel like it's enough for you if you're doing it for other people's satisfaction. Let you be your own worst judge and your own worst critic. Okay, let you always try to outdo yourself. Only compare you to you, okay? Only compare yourself to who you were yesterday, but leave everybody else's judgments and critiques out of it for the most part, you know? Like constructive criticism, sure, great, whatever, that's fine. at some point too, you have to know that like you are just good at what you do. Damn, yeah, some of you guys were definitely drawn to pile one. That kind of came through in pile one a little bit. Some of you guys were definitely drawn to pile one. And then we have your perspective. Again, perspective. Again, perspective. That chef that cooked for 12 people, one of them might have been allergic to something. Another one might have been like, but I'm vegan. And then someone else might have been like, I hate chicken. It doesn't mean they can't cook. It's perspective, okay? It says change the meaning of the issue. Experience is shaping perspective, reflection for change. So these are messages directly from your maternal bloodline to stop doubting what you're good at, to get your doubts under control, to get it to a place where you build up that core where you know that you're good at what you do. And you can also accept the fact that there's going to be other people that critique you or that judge you or that just simply don't agree or that are just simply haters too. But be able to discern the difference. That's very important for you guys with perspective right here, coming straight as a message from your maternal bloodline. Let's see what other gifts you guys inherited from your mother's side of the family. Okay, we have here tarot guidance. Some of you guys are very gifted with tarot. And then we have spells alchemy. And what do we have? We've got the magician. You guys are very, very gifted with tarot and guidance, being able to ask for guidance, being able to hear guidance. And like I was saying with the Queen of Swords here, this is like even getting very clear and direct instructions from Spirit and the universe. You guys are very, very, very gifted when it comes to, some of you guys are tarot readers in this pile. Stop doubting your gifts, okay? Stop doubting your gifts, especially if you're a tarot reader. I can like talk to you directly because I'm a tarot reader, right? If you are a tarot reader specifically, or you are somebody that performs magic alchemy spells, you know, you're into the mystical side of things and you're posting your work online, again, be able to discern the difference between criticism, constructive criticism, and just a hater, okay? Just know though that you guys are very gifted at what you do. You're extremely gifted. And the guidance that you get, sometimes it might not be the guidance that people want to hear, right? But you got to find your own, you got to find your own way. You got to find your own niche. You got to find your own style of doing it. And you have to believe in your way of doing it. Okay, that is so important because when it comes to being gifted at things like spells, alchemy, tarot, divination, it's all about perspective. Life in general is about perspective. The more confidence that someone has in themselves, the more they're going to see the results of that confidence in their life play out in the ways that they want things to play out. Right? But if we are dealing and struggling with a lot of doubts and a lot of internal conflicts, then it can get in the way of what we're meant to do. And we can spend a lot of time fighting ourselves and experiencing a lot of resistance. So for you specifically, Pile 4, for those of you that are tarot readers or you want to read tarot or you feel like you need or want to help people, it's a calling for you. You guys have here light and love, talking about being a light worker and bringing divine healing, light and love to the world. Builder, nutritionist over here. You guys are like a spiritual pharmacist. You're able to guide and help people and alchemize the energy in their life and the stuff that they're going through. You guys are meant to do that. But if your doubts are getting in the way, stop doubting yourself. Okay? Again, there's going to be some people that they might not want to hear the guidance that you give them because they had a very specific idea about what they wanted you to say to them or the guidance that they wanted you to give them. But that's not your job. Your job is not to sell a reading. Okay. Your job is to act as a medium, psychic abilities right here, for other people so that when they come to you for some sort of guidance, you give it to them straight and you give it to them well. Okay. Don't be worried about the validation, or of course you want to, help people as much as you can. But it's really important for you guys, Pile 4, to again discern the difference between people that came to you with an idea in their head where it's like, if they come to you and they ask, why hasn't so-and-so called me back? And you're like, girl, because they gone. They done moved on, you know, and that might not be what they want to hear. There's a difference between that and them getting mad and being like, why didn't you tell me when we're going to get married? You know, there's a difference between that and somebody coming to you and struggling to accept that, but at the same time being appreciative of you being honest and giving them that guidance in a direct way. Queen of Swords, you guys are supposed to be direct in your gifts, okay? Because it's really important for you guys to just give that message and that guidance straight, okay? And then with Spells Alchemy, it's like, again, with your nutrition card, it's like you guys know what's going to work. It's like you guys can tell someone, go take this leaf, go take this much water, and do this, and it's going to take care of that. Get used to being direct with people. It's just something that happens sometimes. Okay, so let's get a final message here from the ancestors on your maternal side. What do they want to say to you, pile 4? Oh, and just know too, for those of you that are tarot readers or you want to put your spiritual teachings out into the world, that it's going to grow very rapidly at some point. It's going to pick up and it's going to grow very quickly with fertility right here. Again, Queen of Swords and the Magician. Once you guys kind of figure out what you want to do, something is going to multiply fast. Put some protection over your, like if you're doing like online work, put some protection over your work. Okay. Put some protection over your work because it's going to grow really fast. At a certain point, it's just going to boom like that. It'll take off. Okay, so we have here what's coming out for you. We've got nature spirits, and then we have tune in and connect. Nature spirits here says elves, fairies, and rock formations. Tune in and connect says nonverbal communication, intuition, and messages. This is that psychic ability right here. Nature spirit says to connect with the, I don't know how to pronounce that. Holdu folk, I think, or elves. Go into a quiet place in nature, especially somewhere with boulders or rock formations. Sit quietly, psychically protect yourself. This is what I was just saying, and you guys have psychic abilities right here. Protect your work, okay? You're putting it online. Protect your work, okay? But know at the same time that your work is protected. Like you gotta believe in your protection as well. But it says here, psychically protect yourself. Close your eyes and pay attention to what you feel. You may be surprised at what you experience. You may even see light orbs floating around you with your physical eyes or your third eye, just like her third eye is hiding right here or is highlighted right here in the psychic abilities card. And it says, see if you notice any movement or shadows around the rocks. Be open to receiving messages from the Holdu folk, I think. When you are ready to go home, respect the natural environment by thanking the local, I'm gonna just say elves. Okay, divinatory meaning here says, pay attention to what you see and sense when you are out in nature, particularly when you are around rock formations. As wild as it sounds, you're being called to connect with the nature of spirits and elves in your area. Respect the wilderness as a home for being seen and unseen. This card may suggest someone doesn't want to be disturbed. Respect their space and let them come to you. Also, I don't know why, but I just saw a vision very clearly for you, pile 4. For those of you that like to go out in nature and take walks and stuff, you may come across on one of your future walks, you may come across a nature, like an altar that was put up to nature, put up to some sort of spirit. Of course, don't mess with it. But if you guys come across it, or some sort of a symbol or a sign, you guys may see something, get curious about it and look it up or look into it. Do not touch it. Never touch another altar, but get curious, do a little research and be like, what is, take a picture of it maybe and see if you can find it on Google or something, because there's a very specific message that is going to be out in nature for some of you if you end up coming across like some sort of an altar. And you guys are going to know, you're going to know that it's like, because it talked about rock formation with this nature spirits, you guys are going to know there's going to be something about it that pings to your third eye, to your claircognizance, where you're like, that's an altar right there. Maybe you've never seen that symbol before. Maybe you've never seen whatever spirit is being honored there before, but you're going to know in your spirit that that means something. Look into it because there's going to be a very direct message there. Okay. You guys may have also even come across that as well recently too. Okay, and then we have here tune in and connect, nonverbal communication, intuition, and messages. It says the ancestors speak. There has been so much noise and busy energy around you that you haven't been able to stop and listen to what the universe is trying to tell you. Okay, so it's really important to listen, you guys, with the Queen of Swords right here in Magician. It says quiet in your mind and find a peaceful space that you can visit, meditate, or be still for a few moments each day, and you will feel more connected to your loved ones regardless of distance. You will also be more receptive to signals and messages, spoken or otherwise. Again, if you guys come across a symbol or something, there's a message in that for you. Divinatory meaning here says listen to your gut instincts and do not doubt what you are feeling. And we literally have the card of doubting right here. It says often the first thing that you feel, hear, or sense about something ends up being right. Yeah. Again, you guys have very strong claircognizant, clairaudient, clairvoyant abilities. It says still it can take courage to listen to your intuition and trust your heart instead of being led by other people's opinions. What were we literally talking about with your tarot guidance card right here? Do not do it. Do not base your purpose in your work around other people's opinions at all. It says be open to a family member or a friend and the message that they are trying to communicate to you. It is time to connect with someone. Okay, so tune in and connect. This is you guys as ancestors, specifically on your maternal side. They're trying to talk to you, especially with the perspective and the doubting card right here. So especially if you guys go out on a walk or something and you see something that's just like, what does that mean? Or you may even come across like something in nature where it wasn't left by another human being, but it reminds you of something or some sort of visual or symbol pops into your mind's eye. Do some research on that, okay? But pile 4, this is it. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, as well as the ancestors on your mom's side for coming through and delivering these messages. You guys stay safe, healthy, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.